Hello, Adu.
Hello, Jadu.
Don't know what these people on Earth are up to.
Yeah, we see them coming to space every now and then.
See. One more just came in.
They've reached Mars. I don't know where else they want to go.
I think someday they will enter our solar system just like we have entered theirs.
Today at BVM Global School, Bengaluru, they're celebrating the project on space. Come, let's learn more about Space Agency of Earth and their missions from them.
Hello everybody, I'm Ajesha from Class 6A and today I will be telling the introduction of ISRO. The Indian Space Research Organization or ISRO was formed by Dr. Vikram Sarabhai in 1969 as the Space Agency of Government of India. It is one of the largest space agencies in the world, headquartered in Bengaluru, Karnataka. In 1972, the Government of India had set up a Space Commission and the Department of Space bringing ISRO under the Department of Space, DOS, and the Chairman of ISRO, the Secretary of the Department of Space. ISRO is managed by the Department of Space, which reports to the Prime Minister of India. The mission of ISRO is to design and develop launch vehicles and related technologies for providing access to the space, design and development of satellites and related technologies for Earth observation, communication, navigation, meteorology and space science. Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. It is the lead center of ISRO, responsible for the design and development of launch vehicle technology. Satish Dhawan Space Center. Satish Dhawan Space Center, CBSE, Sriharikota. It is the spaceport of India which provides the launch space infrastructure for the Indian space program. The National Remote Sensing Center. The National Remote Sensing Center, Hyderabad. It has a mandate for establishing good centers for receiving satellite data, delivery of data products, etc. India's first rocket was launched from Sumba, Equatorial Rocket Launching Center, EERLS, in 1963 at Sumba in Kerala. Thank you.
Dear friends and teachers, today I am going to discuss with you on the important space missions carried out by the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, and the launch vehicles that enable these achievements for our country. The agency carries out interplanetary and outer space missions. Chandrayaan-1 mission to Moon. India's first mission to the Moon was launched successfully in October 2008 from Sriharikota. It orbited around the Moon for chemical, mineralogical and photogeological mapping of the Moon. In 2008, India became the sixth country in the world to launch a mission to Moon. Mangalyaan Mars Orbiter Mission MOM. It is ISRO's first interplanetary mission to planet Mars, with an orbital craft designed to orbit Mars in an elliptical orbit. India is the first country to reach Mars in its first attempt. AstroSat. It is the first dedicated Indian astronomy mission aimed at studying celestial sources in X-ray, optical and UV spectral bands simultaneously. It enables the simultaneous multi-wavelength observations of various astronomical objects. Now let me discuss about different launch vehicles developed by ISRO to enable space mission. PSLV and remote sensing. India is a dominant player in remote sensing and PSLV technology. GSLV Mk3. It is a crew capsule which can take human beings to space. Launching multiple satellites. ISRO launched 104 satellites using a single rocket from spaceport Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. It achieved this milestone and helped 6 other nations to put up their satellites in orbit using the PSLV C-37 launch vehicle in 2017. GSLV F-09. ISRO launched GSLV F-09 in the year 2017. Geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle Mark II made use of cryogenic upper stage. It is one of the biggest communication networks in South Asia. ISRO has successfully launched several other space missions towards developing scientific technology. Our scientists, with their relentless hard work and dedication, has made us proud with their achievements in space program. Thank you.
Lessons to learn from. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. ISRO's past records shows that there are no failures in science, only lessons. In rocketry, one cannot be too careful with the launch vehicle, and no one knows it better than ISRO. A few of the missions that were not successful are GSLV F-10 launched on August 12, 2021. GSLV F-02 launched on July 11, 2006. PSLV D-1 launched on September 20, 1993. ASLV D-2 launched on July 13, 1988. ASLV D-1 launched on March 24, 1987. SLV-3E1 launched on August 10, 1979. Thank you.
Wow! ISRO is doing a wonderful job. Let's listen to some of the amazing scientists now.
I am Dr. Vikram Ambala Sarabhai, the father of the Indian space program. I am an Indian physicist and astronomer who initiated space research and helped develop nuclear power in India. I am the founder of Indian Space Research Organization ISRO. I was born to Ambala Sarabhai and Sadadevi Sarabhai on the 12th of August 1990. I did my education in India and England. My interests varied from science to sports to statistics. I played a major role in establishing a large number of institutions in diverse fields in India. The establishment of the ISRO at Tumba was one of my greatest achievements. I successfully convinced the government on the importance of a space program for a developing country like India. I started a project for the fabrication and launch of an Indian satellite. As a result, the first Indian satellite, Aryabhatta, was put in orbit in 1975 from a Russian cosmodrome. I was honored with Padma Bhushan in 1966 and the Padma Vibhushan in 1972.
Hello everyone, I am APJ Abdul Kalam, an Indian aerospace scientist who also served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. I was born and brought up in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu and studied physics and aerospace engineering. I spent the next 4 decades as a scientist and site administrator mainly at the Defense Research and Development Organization, also known as DRDO, and Indian Space Research Organization, also known as ISRO, and was intimately involved in India's civilian space program and military missile development efforts. In 1969, I was transferred to Indian Space Research Organization where I served as the project director of India's first satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3, which successfully deployed the Rohini satellite in near Earth orbit in July 1980. I was called as the Missile Man of India for my work on the development of ballistic missiles and launch vehicle technology. I also played a pivotal role in India's Pokhran-2 nuclear test in 1998. I was honored with Bharat Ratna and many more awards. I love interacting with students and I always feel that the younger generation are the future of this country. I am fond of writing books and poems and I always encourage young children to read more books and gain knowledge. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Kinvalar Matheus. I am an Indian scientist working with ISRO since 1994. I've been involved in several space missions. I was born in Ariyalur, Tamil Nadu on 31st July 1959. I have completed a Bachelor of Engineering from Government of Technology, Coimbatore and Masters in Electronics and Communications from Anna University. I have worked as the project director of the RISAT-1, India's first Indian-Israeli developed radar imaging satellite, which was successfully launched in 2022. I am the second woman scientist of ISRO to head a prestigious project after Anuradha Tikki, the project director of the GSAT-12 mission 2011. I am the first person to receive the prestigious Kalam Award in 2015 instituted by the Government of Tamil Nadu in the honor of the former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Thank you. Hello everyone, I am the Rocket Woman of India. That's right, I am Ritu Karidal, a scientist at ISRO. I was born in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh on 13th April 1975. I did my BSc and MSc in Physics from Lucknow University and MTech in Aerospace Engineering from Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. I started working for ISRO in 1997. I was the Deputy Operations Director for India's Mars mission, Mangalyaan, which was launched on 5th November 2013. I was also part of the Chandrayaan-2. As a child, I was always interested in space science, gazing at the night sky for hours, and I used to think about the outer space and wondered about how the moon changes its shape. I received the ISRO Young Scientist Award in 2007 from APJ Abdul Kalam, who was then the President of India. I was also awarded an honorary doctorate by the Lucknow University. I delivered talks in the TED and TEDx events describing the success of the Mars orbiter mission. Thank you.
Hats off to them, amazing people. Now we'll go on a mini tour of ISRO through these amazing models and illustrations.
A hologram is a photographic recording of a light film, rather than an image formed by a lens. Hologram use the principle of interference and diffraction of light waves. They are used in military mapping and intelligence, medicine, fraud and security, and art.
A moon rover is a space exploration vehicle designed to move across the surface of the moon. On July 26, 1971, Apollo 15 is the first to carry lunar roving vehicle. The lunar roving vehicle is a battery-powered rover used on the moon in the last three missions of the Apollo program 15, 16, 17. Other rovers have been partially or fully autonomous robots.
Earth stations or ground stations are a vital element in any satellite communication network. Their function is to receive information from or transmit information to the satellite network. ISRO had established the Antarctica Ground Station for Earth observation satellites at Bharti Station, Lareshman Hills, Antarctica, for receiving Indian remote sensing satellite data. A spaceport or cosmodrome is a site for launching or receiving spacecraft into orbit around Earth or an interplanetary trajectories. They include one or more launch pads. Satish Dhawan Space Center is a spaceport operated by Indian Space Research Organization. It is located in Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh.
And I'm going to talk about a space station. A space station, also called an orbital space station, is a spacecraft capable of supporting a human crew for a long period of time and is therefore a type of space habitat. It lacks major propulsion or landing systems. Space stations have docking ports to transfer crew and supplies and to allow other spacecraft to dock. ISRO is planning to launch their own space station in the near future. Thank you.
The Thamba Equatorial Rocket Launching Center is an Indian spaceport established on 21st November 1963 in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. It is currently used by ISRO for launching sound rockets. This collage is created by from 6A.
My name is Espoon. I am going to talk about India's future space missions. Gaganyaan. Gaganyaan is an Indian crewed orbital spacecraft intended to be the formative spacecraft of the Indian human spaceflight program. The spacecraft is being designed to carry 3 people. The Gaganyaan mission could propel India to the center of space exploration, which is dominated by the US and Russia, being developed by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. This is the future space mission of India, and there will be a lot of updates still. Thank you.
Exemplary work! Kudos to the amazing scientists of ISRO.
Raghu, did you know that the space agencies of America are also doing some outstanding work? Let's get to know more about them.
Is it Anu? Come, let's have a look.
Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain about NASA. It is headquartered at Washington DC, founded by Dwight D. Eisenhower and Hello. It mainly studies about Earth, solar system, and beyond it. It has collaboration by Russia, China, Japan, UK, Canada. It mainly studies about astrophysics and astrophysics. Thank you.
Attempts. Crewed flights. NASA successfully launched around 200 crewed flights. Programs. Some of them are Mercury, Germany, Apollo and Skylab programs have been successful. ISSR teams. ISSR teams program are that ones that are ongoing. Aerodynamic concepts. In the programs, US aircraft rockets are used to test new technologies and aerodynamic concepts. Science missions. There are 80 active science missions. Robotic missions. Some of the robotic missions are ATRIS, NASA Sounding Rocket Program, Sub-Oriental, Satellites Sarah Jason 1 and 3,
NASA's unsuccessful attempts. was here established to provide an orbital platform to look into the problems of environment. The case that container satellites failed to separate during the rocket launch, hence crossed into the ocean 17 months after the launch. Hubble Space Telescope could not achieve its goal as its first attempt to look into the stars without atmospheric interference. Vision problem, grinding the original camera lens. Engineers failed to compensate for change in lens in zero gravity. MPL, Mars Polar Lander's aim was to study Mars. The spacecraft has reached Mars, but NASA has never been able to contact with MPL. The aim of Genesis is to study pieces of sun and solar system, collect solar winds through specially designed seeds. It was able to grab the piece of sun, but bringing back was a failure. NASA planned to catch the capsule in mid-air by hooking its parachute with a helicopter, which did not deploy and crashed into the Utah Desert. Some pieces were retrieved and used for research. These are the few pictures of NASA's unsuccessful attempt. This is one of the drawing of NASA's unsuccessful attempts. Thank you.
Great, they're doing a lot in the field of space science and technology.
You know, Adu, a lot of scientists and astronauts of Indian origin work for NASA. Let's listen to a few of them and how they contributed in the success of NASA and the space agency.
Today I'm going to share some information, facts and many more things about Kalpana Chawla. Information about Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana Chawla was an American astronaut and engineer who was the first woman of Indian origin to go to space. She first flew on Space Shuttle Columbia in 1997 as a mission specialist and primary robotic arm operator. Facts about Kalpana Chawla. Chawla acquired her Bachelor of Engineering degree in Aeronautical Engineering from Punjab Engineering College in Chandigarh in 1982. She began working at the NASA Ames Research Center in 1988 and did computational fluid dynamics CFD research on vertical short takeoff and landing concepts. Continuation of facts about Kalpana Chawla. She travelled over 10.4 million miles in 252 orbits of the Earth, logging more than 372 hours in space. Kalpana Chawla was born on March 17, 1962 in Punjab's Karnal, now Haryana. Awards that Kalpana Chawla got. Congressional Space Medal of Honor, NASA Space Flight Medal, NASA Distinguished Service Medal. Drawing of Kalpana Chawla.
Hi, I'm Swati Mohan. I emigrated from India to United States when I was 1 year old. I was raised in Northern Virginia, Washington DC metro area. I completed my BC from Cornell University and in Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, my MS and PhD from MIT in Aeronautics and Astronautics. I have worked on multiple missions such as Cassini, mission to Saturn, and Grail, a pair of information-flown spacecraft to the moon. I have worked on Mars 2020 since almost beginning to the project in 2013. I'm currently the Mars 2020 Guidance, Navigation and Controls Operation Lead at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, CA. I was the one who confirmed the landing of Perseverance rover on Mars. Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance is safely on the surface of Mars, ready to be seeking the sign of past life. I announced soon after the rover landed.
Hi, I'm Sunita Lynn Williams. I'm an American astronaut and United States Navy officer who formerly held the records for most spacewalks by a woman, 7, and most spacewalk time for a woman 50 hours 40 minutes. I was assigned to the International Space Station as a member of Expedition 14 and Expedition 15. In 2012, I served as a flight engineer on Expedition 32 and then commander of Expedition 33. On April 16, 2007, I ran the first marathon by any person in space. I became the commander of the International Space Station on September 17, 2012, being only the second woman to achieve the feat. Also in September 2012, I became the first person to do a triathlon in space, which considered with the Nautica Malibu triathlon held in Southern California. In May 2020, I addressed more than 5 lakh Indian and other international students in the United States in a virtual interview. Organized by the Students' Hub at the Embassy of India, Washington, D.C. during the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020.
Flight Experiment, Fly Immunity and Tumors, FIT, which flew on STS-121 on July 4th, 2006. The experiment was completed successfully with samples returned in excellent condition. I and my team are currently analyzing the flight and ground data relating to immune changes induced by spaceflight. I hold master's and doctorate degrees in molecular biology from Princeton University and have conducted postdoctoral research in neurobiology at Stanford University. I taught astronauts the principle of spaceflight effects on living organisms when I was a faculty member at the Marine Biology Laboratory's summer course in Woods Hole, Mass. in 2004. My research at NASA has involved studying immune system changes during spaceflight and the effects of radiation and altered gravity on living systems. While at NASA Ames, in addition to conducting my own research, I have been involved in developing small science payloads and integrating experiments into flight hardware for the Space Shuttle, the International Space Station, and small satellite.
How amazing these women are! There's a lot to learn from them.
Yes. Now, let's go ahead and watch a mini tour of NASA to some of amazing models and illustrations.
It's a multinational collaboration of 5 different space organizations: NASA, CSA, ESA, JAXA and Roscosmos, with an objective to establish an laboratory and an observatory in low orbit for future missions.
Hi, this is my rover. Rovers are typically created to land on another planet, tasked to collect information about the terrain and to take crust samples such as dust, soil, rocks, and even liquids. They are essential tools in space exploration. This is how my rover works. If I press the forward button, both of the chains will rotate forward, resulting in the whole rover moving forward. If I press the reverse button, both of the chains will rotate backward, resulting in the whole rover moving backward. And if I press the right button, only the left chain will rotate, causing it to turn right. So if I press the left button, only the right chain will rotate, causing it to turn left. Now, let me show you a demo of how my rover moves.
Hello guys, today I am going to share a few facts about rovers. Fact number 1. Rovers are created to land on other planets other than Earth. Wow! Fact number 2. Rovers collect information of terrains and take crust samples of dust, soils, rocks and even liquids. Fact number 3. They are a major part of space exploration. Fact number 4. They are also a Via-lander style spacecraft. 5. To name a few popular rovers that were sent to outer space are Sojourner, Mir, Curiosity, Apollo 15, etc. Wow! Thank you!
And today I'm gonna share something about my project day picture. So here it is, my project day picture. It's about 5 launching sites: Cape Canaveral Air Force, Vandenberg Air Force Base, Region Test Site, Wallops Island and Kodiak Island. I've drawn the main logo of Cape Canaveral Air Force in the middle. Kodiak Island has a large population of bears, so I've drawn a bear, many mountains and a sunset. And even I've drawn many hills, buildings and roads. And even I've drawn a rocket launching with full of smokes.
These Earthlings are doing a lot of wonderful work.
You know, Adu? Russia is another country on Earth which is ace in space science. Do you want to know more about them?
Yes, I do want to know.
Do you know the Russian agency is called Roscosmos? Come, let's have a look at what they are up to.
Hi, let us now look at Russia's contribution to the space program. We will first try to know a little more about the space organization for Russia, Roscosmos. The Roscosmos State Corporation for Space Activities, commonly known as Roscosmos or Pokmok. It is originated from the Soviet space program founded in the 1950s. Roscosmos was merged with the United Rocket and Space Corporation, leading to Roscosmos in its current form. Roscosmos is headquartered in Moscow. Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, the world's first and largest spaceport. Its director since May 2018 is Dmitry Rogozin. Roscosmos stands in 4th place in all over the world. As the main successor to the Soviet space program, Roscosmos' legacy includes the world's first satellite, first human spaceflight, and first space station.
Having known about Roscosmos and its history, now let us look at some of the success stories of the organization. Roscosmos has seen contributions and achievements from some great scientists in Russia. One of them, Sergei Korolev, considered as the father of practical astronautics, contributed significantly during space race between the United States and the Soviet Union in the 1950s and 1960s. Yuri Gagarin became the first human being in the world to travel into space. Valentina Tereshkova remains the first and youngest woman to have flown in space and spent 3 days there. Roscosmos has some great achievements in the history of space science. It launched R-7, the first intercontinental ballistic rocket in the world. Sputnik 1 was the first artificial Earth satellite which completed orbiting the Earth in 22 days. The first animal on space, Laika, was sent aboard Sputnik 2 to orbit the Earth.
The series of successful missions were conducted by the Lunar series. Luna 2 was the first spacecraft to reach the surface of the Moon and the first human-made object to make contact with another celestial body. Luna 9 was the first soft landing mission on the Moon 3 years before the humans first stepped out on its surface. And Luna 16 was the first to land on the Moon and return a sample of the lunar soil to the Earth. The Venera missions to Venus saw Venera 2, the first spacecraft to fly past Venus. Venera 3 explored the surface of Venus, and Venera 7 was the first spacecraft to land on another planet and the first to transmit data from there back to Earth.
Mars 1, designed to take images of the surface of Mars and send them back to Earth. Mars 2 was a mission without humans to orbit and land on Mars, while Mars 3 was a robotic probe to Mars around the same time. Other successful missions include Lunokhod 1 to be the first robotic and remote control unit to freely roam on the surface of Moon. Salyut 1 was world's first space station launched into Earth orbit and was followed by 5 more successful launches of 7 more stations.
Yes, Jadu, they are 2 pioneers in space science.
Yes, Adu. You know, even China is also a leading country working in several projects in space science.
Yes, Jadu, it is. Come, let's look at some of the achievements of CNSA.
Let us now look at China's contribution to the space program. We will first try to know a little more about the Space Organization for China, CNSA. China National Space Administration or the CNSA was formed on 22nd April 1993. CNSA is the National Space Agency of China, responsible for its national space program. It helps in planning and development of space activities. CNSA and China Aerospace and Technology Corporation assumed the authority over space development efforts previously held by the Ministry of Aerospace Industry. It is a subordinate agency of the SASTIM. SASTIM stands for State Administration for Science, Technology and Industry for National Defense. SASTIM itself is a subordinate agency of the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, also known as MIIT. The headquarters of CNSA is located in Heilongjiang District, Beijing. Now that we know about CNSA as an organization,
Let us look at some of the key success stories of CNSA.
Yang Lives was the first person China sent to space aboard Shenzhou 5 in 2003. With these, China became the third country in the world after USA and USSR to send human beings independently to space. Extravehicular activity or EVA is an activity like spacewalk done by astronauts outside a spacecraft in space. China's first EVA was carried out in September 2008 by two crew members of Shenzhou 7 space mission. China successfully landed Chang'e 3, a moon lander, and its rover U-2 on Moon's surface. After USSR and USA, China was the third country in the world to capable of performing lunar soft landing.
Number 1 was China's first prototype space station model. It was launched in 29 September 2011. China had developed critical human space flight abilities like space talking and breathing. These were proved through critical missions including Shenzhou 8, Shenzhou 9 and Shenzhou 10.
Tiangong 2 and Shenzhou 11 were launched into low Earth orbit in 2016. With this, China conducted a 33-day-long crewed spaceflight mission and also proved that it was ready for building and maintaining a long-term space station. The first ever soft landing on the far side of the moon was conducted by Chang'e 4 on January 2019. This was followed by Chang'e 5 in 2020, which completed complex and successful lunar sample return mission, marking the completion of 3 goals, which were orbiting, landing and returning for a lunar exploration program. Long March 3B rocket successfully launched satellite Beidou on June 23, 2020. Following this success, Chinese President Xi Jinping announced the commissioning of Beidou navigation satellite system in July 2020. China began the construction of Chinese space station after Long March 5B rocket successfully launched Tianhui, the 22-ton core module of Tiangong space station, into low Earth orbit in April 2021. China became the second country after the USA to successfully soft land a fully operational spacecraft on Mars. This started in July 2020 when China had launched Tianwen-1, which included an orbiter, a lander and a rover on Long March 5 rocket to Mars. After a 6-month journey, Tianwen-1 was inserted into the Mars orbit in February 2021, followed by a successful soft landing of the lander and the Zhurong rover in May 14, 2021.
Wow! They too are doing a wonderful job.
Jadu, do you know the students of PVM Global are interviewing the chiefs of these space organizations about their future missions? Come, let's see what their future plans are.
Hello and welcome to the show Space Talk. I'm Dhanyashri and today I will be interviewing the chairman of ISRO, Mr. K7. Hello sir, and a very warm welcome to the show.
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
Sir, please tell our viewers something about the future missions of ISRO.
Yes, definitely. ISRO is planning to launch several missions in the near future. For example, the Gaganyaan 3 in 2023. It's a crewed spacecraft. Shukrayaan-1, December 2024. Venus Orbiter's Lunar Polar Exploration Mission 2024. Lunar Lander, Voyager and the Mangalyaan 2 in 2024, a Mars Orbiter mission.
That is a huge list, sir. Can you please tell us something about the Gaganyaan in detail?
Yes, Gaganyaan 3 aims to demonstrate India's space flight capability by carrying 3 crew members to low Earth orbit or LEO and safely bring them back. It's most likely to be launched in 2023.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today and giving your valuable insight on the future missions of ISRO.
Hello and welcome to the show, The Space Talk. I am Lavanya and today I'll be interviewing the chairman of NASA, Mr. Bill Nielsen. Hello, sir, and a warm welcome to the show.
Hello, Lavanya. I'm glad to be here.
Sir, please tell our viewers something about the future missions of NASA.
Yes, definitely. NASA is planning to launch several missions like Europa Clipper, launch of NASA Jupiter Orbiter to study Europa between 2023 and 2025, Dragonfly, launch of NASA Quadcopter drone mission to Titan in 2026, Veritas, launch of NASA Venus Orbiter between 2028 and 2029.
These projects sounds very interesting, sir. Can you please tell us something about Veritas in detail?
Yes, Veritas is a Discovery class mission planned to orbit Venus and return data for 4 Venus rotations, roughly 21 Earth years. The scientific objectives are to study past and present water, current or recent volcanic activity, and the geological evolution of Venus.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today and giving your valuable insights of future missions of NASA.
Hello, I am Shrish, and today I will be interviewing the director of the Soviet space program, Dmitry Rogozin. Hello, sir, and a very warm welcome to the show.
Hello, Shrish. I'm glad to be here.
Sir, can you tell us something about the future missions of Roscosmos?
Yes, definitely. Roscosmos is planning to launch several missions in the near future. One key focus is the development of the Federation spacecraft by 2022, with its first flight to the International Space Station by 2023. Russia also plans its own space station by 2025. Vanilla D lander on planet Venus is planned in 2029. Finally, in 2029, crew flights to lunar orbit would begin, along with flights testing of a lunar lander.
That's a huge list, sir. Can you please tell us when Russia wants to make its own space station?
Roscosmos is working on a program, and the space agency hopes to launch its own orbital station in 2025.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today and giving your valuable insights on the future missions of Roscosmos.
Hello, I am Tarun, and today I will be interviewing the Chief Executive of CNSA, Jiang Kejian. Hello sir, and a very warm welcome to the show.
Hello Tarun, I'm glad to be here.
Sir, can you tell us something about the future missions of CNSA?
Yes, definitely. CNS is planning to launch several missions in near future to make its own space station, to send its rover to collect lunar samples, to make a permanent presence in moon by constructing SPSP satellites in LEO by 2025 and GEO by 2030. China is also developing Long March 9 to be flight tested in 2030.
That is a huge list, sir. Can you please tell us something about the China's new space station?
3 astronauts on China's new space station have performed country's first spacewalk and are busy considering the model for future crews.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today and giving your valuable insight on the future missions of CNSA.
Wow, Adu! These earthlings are really up to something. We have to be very alert. It won't take them long to reach our solar system.
Yes, we should hurry and inform the people of our planet.
Run!